President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the names of 32 ambassadorial nominees to the Senate for confirmation. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, on Saturday, the nominees include 17 non-career ambassadors and 15 career ambassadors who will be posted to countries and international organizations critical to Nigeria's foreign relations. However, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has criticized Tinubu's latest ambassadorial appointments, describing the list as a settlement list of political IOUs. The party took particular exception to the nomination of Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the immediate past chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, saying his appointment, coming only 2 years after supervising the election that brought President Tinubu into office, would lend credence to the widespread allegation that the former INEC chief might not have been a neutral umpire in the 2023 election and could further undermine the credibility of INEC. In a statement signed by Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, National Publicity Secretary of the ADC, the party said at a time when INEC was still mired in a major credibility crisis, Yakubu's nomination for an ambassadorial position sent a dangerous message. In a related development, Human Rights Writers Association, HURIRA, has described as unfortunate and disgraceful the list of ambassadorial nominees recently sent to the National Assembly. The rights group said the duo of Femi Fani-Kayode and especially Mr. Reno Omokri were particularly compensated for always pouring insults on Peter Obi and for spreading total falsehoods or half-truths to attempt to undermine the integrity and credibility of Peter Obi. HURIRA singled out Mr. Reno Omokri, a man who was critical of the then presidential candidate Bola Tinubu, whom he called unprintable names, but capitulated when it was alleged that he was heavily financially induced to become his full-time praise singer and propagandist.
Ambassadorial posters. Yeah, no, let me just leave security. That's straightforward. Anybody can discuss that. Let me talk about ambassadorial posting. Now, issues beyond the concerns that have been expressed by the public. One, about people protesting about the character, the background, the job for the boys orientation of that list. Some other parties, the opposition parties in particular, saying that the list should be withdrawn. I will just say a number of things. The first is that it took President Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2 years, 2 months to come up with this list. And I think that people are right to have raised the point that they expected something more rigorous in a country of over 200 million people. It cannot be the wife of this, the daughter of that, some other persons who have been lobbying to be given appointments. It shouldn't have been job for the boys. Number two is that Nigeria has 109 missions worldwide. Now, so far we have appointed 35 ambassadors. Now, out of those 35 ambassadors, the process is not yet concluded. We still have about 74, right? Yeah. About 74 missions that have not been filled. What I would have expected, because the background to the recall of the ambassadors, part of that background was that Nigeria could no longer fund its missions. You have officers on diplomatic missions, they will put them in a 3-bedroom flat. They will be sharing 3-bedroom flat. It got to a point that many of them could no longer travel with their families. Now, the first step will have been the rationalization of the embassies. What are we doing with 109 missions if we cannot maintain them? You could have, you could rationalize these things. We don't need to have ambassadors in every West African country. The man you sent to Togo can cover Cameroon, can cover another country. Why must we have an ambassador in the Court of James, of St. James, have also in Northern Ireland, and also have somebody in Wales? One person can cover the whole of that area. One person can cover blocks of Europe, to save costs and to make sure that these ambassadors are not going to go there and then they will be asking for money all the time. The third point, when time comes, there will be more detailed analysis. But I think these fundamental, foundational issues are important. Is that these ambassadors that have been appointed, it's not automatic. Yeah. We may end up not even having ambassadors until towards the end of 2026. Because first, the screening by the Senate, then the application for the agreement with the host country. The host country has to accept you. So people are concerned about character. The host countries too will do their investigations. And many of these people may be rejected. In fact, we may not even send any of these 35 persons out, or some of them may not even get there until we are in election time. However, if President Tinubu wins second term, of course, maybe he will retain some of them. But the delay is also a source of concern. So we just hope that the Senate will do due diligence. But if precedence is anything to follow, and with the Senate, the other day, First Lady invited them to dinner, and they said they were excited to go and have dinner with their mommy. So if mommy's husband says, this is my list for ambassadors, I do not think that this Senate will disobey mommy's husband.
All right. Okay, Dr. Abati, serious business, but you just have a way of at least bringing out the light side so we can laugh.